Cancer 26. Contentment and happiness in luxury. Now, Jones focuses on the relationship between struggle and surrender. This is a Sufi teaching indicating that that's how life is. Sometimes we push against resistance and we struggle to survive, and we overcome challenges to do with keeping ourselves safe and warm, food on the table, keeping the wolf from the door, that kind of thing, that struggle for life. And then the surrender to allow the need for relaxation and acceptance and just flowing along. That's the Sufi teaching, that the rhythm of life is that struggle and surrender. We can't have all surrender. We can't just relax and flow along all the time. Neither can we keep it up if we're trying to work and overcome obstacles to become successful by your own definition. We can't do either of those things indefinitely. If we try and struggle too much, then we just burn out. And the evidence of burnout or approaching the need for relaxation is found when we're hyper tense. There's a lot of stress going on. Perhaps we're making mistakes. Perhaps we lose creativity. Perhaps we become indecisive. There are certain signs, and a self-aware person will know their own signs. It'll be different for each of us, and you might snap at the kids or make a silly mistake in your budgeting or adding up this or spending more money than you need to on a inappropriate purchase. You might get cheated in a shop or something. There would be little clues to let you know that you've lost focus and you need to relax. So Jones is focusing on this aspect of relaxation, appropriate relaxation, as a necessary component of life management. It's indisputable, isn't it? We do need to relax in order to function at all. We go to sleep every night, and this is because the soul cannot cope with the intense heaviness of the earth indefinitely. And when we sleep, the soul just goes home for a bit, has a bit of a rest, and re-engages with the daily struggle when it wakes. So we know this. We know that we have to relax sometimes, and it's good to build in that into your normal routine rather than just be forced by need to take time off. The physical body will give you real clues that it's time for a break, or it might break something itself. You become accident prone when you need to relax. You become more likely to be ill. You might catch a cold or the flu, and it'll lay you up for a few weeks. And that's the sign. That's the sign that you need to take it easy. If we don't self-regulate, then we will be regulated. Something will make us give up. So that's Jones's understanding, a rather straightforward, simple message, which is very important nonetheless. However, I like the way Rudhyar takes this one step further. He's making the observation that those people that live in contentment and luxury and so on, these are the aristocratic types in our culture in the West. Now these types have a lot more influence in society than most others. Why? They take the wealth, the rich and famous inevitably have got their better cars and their big houses and their golf memberships, and all the trappings of luxury go to those people. And these are the people that tend to make the decisions and tend to take the responsibilities for governing our society, our community. And of course we can get cynical and say, well, they're nasty people, they're politicians, they're billionaires, they're not the kind of people we approve of, and that's another question. But the fact is that they do take responsibility, and they do make decisions, and they may well take them for the wrong reasons and then ignore the things that go wrong and blame somebody else. That's the distortion of the principle. Of course it is. But without that cynicism of looking for that distortion, if we look for the highest expression of this in light, then we will notice throughout history that a certain type of person, the lords and ladies of England, for example, or the sultans in the Middle East, or nowadays in the West you have the big businessmen who govern companies with thousands of employees. They take on big responsibilities. Now, if you are that kind of person, in order to claim that degree of influence, you have to take on that level of responsibility, and that denies you freedom. You cannot really reconcile freedom with power. They don't go together. A certain high level of spiritual awareness will give you both. But it's not the power that we're talking about normally. The aristocratic power comes with title and position and wealth. We're not talking about that. Spiritual power is another thing. But those people that claim hard power, power of influence in political terms, in financial terms, these people have surrendered freedom in order to claim that power and take that responsibility. Every society lives by a code, one way or another. There are laws, there are morality judgments, there are intellectual ideas and beliefs. There are things that we need to follow if we are to be a part of this community. And there's a group of people that maintain them, that hold them in place. The law is maintained by the justice system. And these people aren't poor. It takes a huge amount of money to train to be a lawyer. And when you are a lawyer, you make a lot of money. They're not poor people. These are today's aristocrats, in a sense. The moral question is usually held in place by the princes of the church, as they used to be called, the bishops and the pope, and you know, these people are aristocrats actually in their field. They live high and mighty. They eat well. They don't have a lot of grubbiness in their lives. These are part of the aristocracy. And the intellectual giants of the world, they get celebrated. They write their books, their name is decided, they get to be professor of this, that, or the other university, and they're highly respected individuals with wealth. So we see the groups of people that maintain society's commitment to a code of ethics. These are the aristocracy of the day, and these people give up their freedom to take on the responsibility of holding our society in place. So even though that we may be disappointed when they don't behave well, it's a difficult job. We should be mindful of that. If they're doing their best, well, that's okay. I think it's rather silly when we hold them to very high standards of moral impeccability. None of us could reach that standard, so why would we expect them to? If they have an affair with somebody, let them work that out between the husband and the wife and so on. It's not our business. If they break the law and they do something which is against the code that they're supposed to be upholding, yes. If a priest has an affair with a married woman, yeah, that's more serious. But a businessman or a politician, why? I just don't get that. I think we're a bit hard on our aristocrats sometimes, and yet, if they're criminal, they should be made to pay the price.